You're watching TBT here on ESPN. As we wrap up regional semifinals Saturday in the Richmond region, it's the upset half of the bracket, the Web, against Team DRC here from the Siegel Center. Here in Richmond, Matt Martucci and Tim Scarborough, the former Liberty Flame. We just saw Overseas Elite move on, and now it's the next team that gets a chance to dethrone the four-time champs. Who is it coming out of this one today?
Well, we'll have to find out, but this is going to be a battle. You know, this Richmond team, they're playing in their own city, but it's not their home court. And this DRC team has already knocked off a team that resides in this city. Can they do it again is the question. And if they do, their reward will be you have to play one of the best teams to ever play at TBT in Overseas Elite.
Well, the Web had to do it late last night. They were able to come back from what was as many as 16 down, and Chandre Jones was the guy who ended up getting the winner.
Chandre Jones here, though, was the play of the night. Right before the end of the half, stealing that inbounds pass and knocking down that three, giving them all the momentum. And then the Elam ender at the end, a play they've run a million times together. TJ Klein on the delivery, Jones with the finish, sending the other team packing. And DRC, on the other hand, has a huge presence inside. And Keith Clanton. Clanton is one of the bigger bodies, but more importantly, his footwork, his touch, and dexterity around the rim give them a decided advantage in the paint. Look for them to go inside to him, and he's going to put the big boy pants on and get it going.
So one of these two teams will get Overseas Elite. Thought that West Virginia maybe had the athletes to take those guys out. But the four-time defending champs at 27th straight and into tomorrow afternoon's regional final. Our starting lineups here in semifinal number 2 are presented by Air Force Reserve. For the Web, in addition to Jones, TJ Klein was the big catalyst in the reaction with a double-double, 24 points and 10 rebounds yesterday. But there is certainly never enough scoring, never too much scoring.
No, not too much.
Not with this lineup.
And you know, they run that Chris Mooney hybrid Princeton-style offense. A lot of backdoor cuts, a lot of movement, and the ball moves. They dribble at you. They do handoffs. It's tough to guard all of that when they're playing well. There was a stretch in that first half of that Green Machine game where it looked like they were going to get run out of here, but then they started sharing the basketball, and it really changed the complexion of the outcome of that game.
Tristan Spurlock had the Elam ending last night. For Team DRC, Kenny Brown had the big play at the end of the third quarter to push what was a 3-point lead to 6.
Brown kind of did what Chandre Jones did, steal the ball late at the end of a quarter and knock down a big three to give their team momentum. And here we are, both of them playing each other for a chance to play Overseas Elite, for another chance to go to Chicago.
Their main booster, the team that the man that is named after this man, Dominic Rogers-Cromartie, who's on his third different team in the NFC East, now the Washington Redskins, after stints with both the Eagles and the New York Giants. And the Web in the blue uniforms, able to win the tip.
And they're going to run a set right out of the first possession. See how it plays out. They may try to get it on the block to Klein. It's just a series of reads, though.
Allen, the unselfish pass to Klein. Knocked down a couple of those yesterday.
But you see how the ball was moving and they were running their continuity, though. If they can continue to do that, that wears out a defense.
Spurlock one and done.
Spurlock took the last shot last night and the first one tonight.
Gonzalez gets it started. For a top 5 all-time leading scorer in Richmond history, David Gonzalez.
Yeah, one of the first Chris Mooney products. And Chris took the job here in Richmond. They've had some really good players matriculate through that program over the years, and we're seeing many of them here today.
Gonzalez and Kevin Anderson, part of what was a really impressive backcourt.
Kevin Anderson, a 2,000-point scorer. I believe the Atlantic 10 Player of the Year as well, right?
And again, things just didn't match up for him to play in this one. Part of that Sweet 16 2011 Spider team.
Justin Harper, number 32 in blue, a big part of that team as well.
Good help D by Jones, but Clanton recognizing, and Brown right from yesterday.
Here's to me why it wasn't good help, because obviously Clanton is a handful in the paint, but he wasn't being aggressive right there, and Jones turned his back on a deadly shooter in Kenny Brown.
Harper tries to match. Abe certainly can.
Justin Harper at 6'10", along with TJ Klein at 6'10", super skilled players.
Justin Harper, one of those guys who went from a good player his junior year at Richmond to a great one.
Yeah, the leap was quantum. Quincy Ford was really good yesterday himself, number 12 there with the ball.
Forcing the issue, he'll go to the line. The Web put together by Director of Basketball Operations Mark McGonigal, TJ Klein, Justin Harper, Team DRC, GM Danny Long, and Assistant GM Anthony Fatou. He was actually sitting next to Dominic Rogers-Cromartie. You can't miss him.
There he is. DRC.
Just a couple minutes in, and Harper, one and done.
Speedy Smith, number 4 for DRC, was really good down the stretch. Hit 3 big threes in the fourth quarter that sent Ram Nation packing.
Clanton one and done.
So far, they've done a solid job staying one-on-one on Clanton. When they helped, they gave up an open 3, and now Chandre Jones turns it over.
Smith right around Harper.
And Smith told us in the post-game interview last night that he and Harper are pretty good friends. They're already taking it to his buddy, right to the hole.
And Klein certainly not lacking pace in this game early on.
Nope, but to me, that favors the Web in terms of the flow.
Clanton, look at the acrobatics from the big guy.
I mean, the dexterity for a guy his size is really impressive. His touch around the goal and his ability, his footwork is great.
And Allen, they continue to be high percentage. 4 for 7 out of the gate for the Web. And back and forth we go.
Quincy Ford out of Northwestern, number 12. Yesterday he was so good in the early part of the game for Team DRC.
Spurlock got the ball fake and off the dribble.
But when you help, and sometimes I get it, you have to help on Claxton. When you leave shooters because you turn your back, they relocate and then they pass it out and they move the ball quickly. They're going to get a wide open shot. And we've seen that a few times now in the early part of this game. Good hands. Kenny Brown.
Speedy Smith and Clanton, Brown, Quincy Ford, and Tristan Spurlock for DRC, and a foul on Gonzalez.
Pretty good 5 right there, isn't it?
Yep.
That's winning. That's a winning basketball 5 right there.
2 really good 5s out there right now. Chandre Jones, David Gonzalez, TJ Klein, Terry Allen, and Justin Harper for the team you just saw, coached by Jerron Giddings, who's another former Spider player.
I thought Giddings did a great job yesterday, especially down the stretch of getting, and really in that first half when things were falling apart, he brought them together and made them start moving the basketball, and it changed the whole outcome of that game.
Klein able to tightrope.
Oh, touchdown!
And LG Gill, one of the few non-Spiders, proving why he belongs on this roster.
He can climb that web though, can he?
12 yesterday for a guy with a 40-inch vertical, but Spurlock says, hey, this counts just the same.
2 points is 2 points is 2 points.
Clinton with the late recovery for TBT's blocks leader from a year ago.
Spurlock took forward shot right there.
And feeling it. 5 straight for Tristan Spurlock. Already more than he had all of yesterday. 7 points in his first 5 minutes.
This team, DRC, is way better than a 7 seed in any of these regions. This team is for real.
Up tempo here in Richmond. Gill ahead of the pack. With just so many options for DRC, Spurlock just one of many.
It's tough to quit smoking cold turkey. So Chantix can help you quit slow turkey. Along with support, Chantix is proven to help you quit. With Chantix, you can keep smoking at first and ease into quitting. Chantix reduces the urge, so when the day arrives, you'll be more ready to kiss cigarettes goodbye. When you try to quit smoking, with or without Chantix, you may have nicotine withdrawal symptoms. Stop Chantix and get help right away if you have changes in behavior or thinking, aggression, hostility, depressed mood, suicidal thoughts or actions, seizures, new or worse heart or blood vessel problems, sleepwalking, or life-threatening allergic and skin reactions. Decrease alcohol use. Use caution driving or operating machinery. Tell your doctor if you've had mental health problems. The most common side effect is nausea. Quit smoking slow turkey. Talk to your doctor about Chantix.
Lots of options for David Gonzalez and the Web in terms of scoring the basketball. That's a nice luxury to have. 6 of the top 25 scorers, 5 of the top 15 on one team in your program's history.
Doesn't that say a lot about the recruiting of Chris Mooney, able to get that much offensive talent to come through Richmond? It's not easy to recruit at Richmond. You have to get a certain kid, all great kids, great athletes, but great students as well. And you look at the numbers that each one of these guys have put up, putting them all together, TBT providing the opportunity for each of them to play in different eras. Just a sensational tournament, and those are one of the things you have to love about what TBT has to offer.
Just saw Darian Brothers, who's from right here in Richmond, Benedictine High School. Clanton, great footwork. It continues here in day 2.
It is, but you have to ask a lot of Justin Harper to try to guard that one-on-one. But you really can't afford to leave these snipers on the perimeter, so you can understand Harper being left on that Keith Claxton, Clanton.
And there's Gill.
On that island, though, because and at times you're going to have to double, but at times you have to stay with your shooter, so you have to mix it in and keep them off balance.
You know what it is? They have Speedy Smith and Keith Clanton, and I think you've taken it and melded it into Speedy Claxton.
Our guy from Philadelphia, one of the great 76ers.
Well, and the famous wedgie here in Richmond.
Of course, he played at Hofstra. Hofstra has had some unbelievable scores over the years. The one Justin Wright Foreman.
As one of the best ones at D1 this past year.
And I think he's going to be a pretty good NBA player. I just have a feeling about him. Lefty, really shifty ability to score.
If I ever met him, I would ask him about his Twitter handle, because it's at JWright1, but it's spelled like the Villanova coach.
Wow. So you think that's
who also at one time was the head coach at Hofstra.
Oh, okay. So it's not shade. It's an homage.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought he was giving Jay Wright the business because he wouldn't recruit him to Villanova.
Nice inbounds play to Klein, and the Web back to within 1.
And of course, Justin Wright Foreman, drafted by the Utah Jazz.
Spurlock and the miss cleaned up by Clinton.
There we go. Now TJ Klein's turn in the barrel.
Nice hands.
Breaks it up. unabashed defensively right there. Up to the task, TJ Klein.
Pick and pop, found himself open. And Bernard right off the bench. From Malcolm Bernard, who finished up at Xavier, one of the few non-Richmond guys on this roster. But they've certainly picked the right ones, he and Gill.
DRC is very deliberate right now. They are working around the perimeter, probing the defense, trying to get the ball into Clanton on the post, because when they play off of him, good things happen.
6 of the last 7 made field goals for the Web.
He's guarding, Clanton is guarding TJ Klein at the other end.
Jones. They make it 7 of the last 8. It's a 10-0 run.
And Jones got switched off on Clanton, and they make him pay. If they're going to switch those ball screens and get those mismatches, it's going to be a tough night for DRC at that defensive end.
It's Jones and Klein who combined for more than half their points. And Chandra just too fast here late in the first.
And of course, Ford actually played at Northeastern. I said Northwestern a little earlier. That Colonial Athletic Association produces some quality. But take a look at the 3, the splash, great recognition by Jones to realize Claxton was on him. Clanton was on him. I'm going to do that the rest of my life. Claxton and Clanton.
I'm going to put it on a whiteboard right in front of you.
It still won't help.
Bernard. Wow, right in front of the bench of Team DRC.
That was 3 to the dome right there. Bernard.
The Web now 5 of its last 5. They've opened up at 71% from the floor.
See if they can get a good one here before the end of the quarter.
Brown and the guy they call downtown. Jones, one more look, and beat it with the bank. Give him a Saturday deposit early evening.
What is it about Chandra Jones and the end of a quarter? He is sensational. And I thought Brown took his shot too soon, and I was right. Look at that shot from deep off the glass, a little smooch from straight on.
And the Web blistering out of the gate. 73% for the field and an 8-point lead, thanks to Jones.
It's tough to quit smoking cold turkey. So Chantix can help you quit slow turkey. Along with support, Chantix is proven to help you quit. With Chantix, you can keep smoking at first and ease into quitting. Chantix reduces the urge, so when the day arrives, you'll be more ready to kiss cigarettes goodbye. When you try to quit smoking, with or without Chantix, you may have nicotine withdrawal symptoms. Stop Chantix and get help right away if you have changes in behavior or thinking, aggression, hostility, depressed mood, suicidal thoughts or actions, seizures, new or worse heart or blood vessel problems, sleepwalking, or life-threatening allergic and skin reactions. Decrease alcohol use. Use caution driving or operating machinery. Tell your doctor if you've had mental health problems. The most common side effect is nausea. Quit smoking slow turkey. Talk to your doctor about Chantix.
You'll see some of the most original and colorful TBT uniforms this tournament, so be sure to check them all out over at tbtgear.com. Treat yourself to some great-looking TBT apparel. That's tbtgear.com. Tim Scarborough has it loaded into the browser. Maybe you might want to invest in some web gear. I hear it's hot, just like they're shooting.
It really is, thanks to Chandra Jones and others. But that last shot right before the quarter has given them some momentum here in Richmond. Didn't have to travel far. And I guess that's one thing as a GM, when you have guys who kind of live in the area or at least are from their school is in the area, and you can get them to come back to a city that they're familiar with. But again, as a GM, it's got to be one of the hardest parts of TBT.
Brown had a good look. And Bernard with the defensive glass. Balance for the Web early on. 7 different players have scored. 11 of 15 from the field and have 6 made threes. Allen picking about a 7th, and Spurlock, who had a big first quarter, able to rip down the rebound.
Kenny Smith, Kenneth Speedy Smith, number 4, really has to try to get this team going. He's an assist guy, though, but of course, a great scorer as well. Conference USA Player of the Year, his senior year.
Now there he is.
Tried to get into the act. Nothing going there.
Yeah, all of his points last night ended up coming in the second half. And right next to the ball, trying to set up Allen, and a foul on Team DRC. Syracuse Regional Final is all set up. Salt Lake City coming later tonight. And of course, Wichita already set as well. And this the other half of our final here in Richmond. Overseas Elite already advancing.
No surprises there, right?
No, I thought it might be tighter.
Although you did pick against them, and of course I picked against them on the internet with Ram Nation, so it shows what I know.
I mean, it has to end at some point, doesn't it? Maybe it doesn't.
It could end with them walking away from it.
Perhaps. Jones bailed out by Allen. Bernard caught up in traffic. Good D by Team DRC.
Bob Rathman, who we'll see in Chicago, calling the last quarterfinal games, play-by-play guy for the Atlanta Hawks, sent me a text message to ask me if I'm still picking against Overseas Elite. Come on, Bob. No, but it's almost crazy folly at this point to pick against that team.
Bernard on the foul of the former George Washington Colonial, Katuka. Joseph Katuka bringing us all the way back toward the Carl Hobbs era at GW. Substitution and Harper back in. Terry Allen sits down. Team DRC's led by as many as 6. The Webb's largest lead at 8. Harper matched up with Katuka. And good help that time, Jason Burnell.
That was a good set run out of horns as Spurlock traveled.
Ted Valentine on top of the call.
Jackson Trapp now coming into the game, number 11 for its Team DRC, making his first appearance. Solid shooter from FAU.
The son of a former National Football League wide receiver, Jackson Trapp. Harper, one and done. They couldn't stay shooting 70% from the field forever.
No, they eventually have to cool down.
Trapp and Katuka, along with Speedy Smith, Tristan Spurlock, and Jason Burnell. The DRC 5, they've only had one field goal in the last 5 minutes. Smith not changing that. And numbers, 4 on 2 for brothers in the Web, and he'll go to the line.
Speedy Smith has a chalk outline around his body, around that paint. And he's wondering where the felony was committed and not prosecuted.
Are there any witnesses?
Right. But instead of him going to the line, we have Darian Brothers going to the line at the other end off of that run out. He was mugged, though.
I was just going to say, not a place you want to send an 84% career shooter.
Pretty solid.
Darian Brothers now a full-time job at CarMax here at Richmond. They actually, from what Mark McGonigal told me, the Web GM, they have a court on the premises at work. He gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning and they run pickup.
Wow, nice. Playing on the job, playing basketball on the job, it's got to be pretty fun. CarMax, a staple here in Richmond. I have to be honest, I bought my last 5 cars from there over the course of the last 15 years. Love that place. Because you know why? You don't have to haggle. I don't like haggling. The price is the price is the price.
Clanton, shot clock cut in half. Trapp tried for the soft touch.
And they had to collapse, which is what, if you're DRC, you want to surround Clanton with shooters. They did that, but great recovery by the Spiders.
Jones with good vision for Harper. And they've cooled down from 73% down to 55 thanks to an 0 for 5 start this quarter.
Oh, great
Brothers
hands.
got it stripped away. Tyshawn Patterson, numbers, and Burnell couldn't quite compose to make the layup.
Great
Foul on
hands.
Gonzalez.
Great hands, though, by Patterson. Remember yesterday, he only played 7 minutes and change, but he had a couple of really great assists yesterday. But here he is trying to get another one off of that pilfer at the other end, igniting the break. And DRC is in desperate need of some points here.
Jason Burnell, he and his teammates at Jacksonville State. Kryptonite for the Rick Byrd coached Belmont Bruins in the Ohio Valley this year.
Rick Byrd finally retiring as one of the all-time winningest coaches in NCAA history. What a great job. It's hard to stay anywhere for 30-plus years. But in this business of coaching, it's even harder because if you have 1 or 2 bad years, your own fan base will try to get you out.
Yeah, it's very much a what have you done for me yesterday. Timeout on the floor for DRC. And the Web got a little cold here in the second quarter, but still up by 6.
It's tough to quit smoking cold turkey. So Chantix can help you quit slow turkey. Along with support, Chantix is proven to help you quit. With Chantix, you can keep smoking at first and ease into quitting. Chantix reduces the urge, so when the day arrives, you'll be more ready to kiss cigarettes goodbye. When you try to quit smoking, with or without Chantix, you may have nicotine withdrawal symptoms. Stop Chantix and get help right away if you have changes in behavior or thinking, aggression, hostility, depressed mood, suicidal thoughts or actions, seizures, new or worse heart or blood vessel problems, sleepwalking, or life-threatening allergic and skin reactions. Decrease alcohol use. Use caution driving or operating machinery. Tell your doctor if you've had mental health problems. The most common side effect is nausea. Quit smoking slow turkey. Talk to your doctor about Chantix.
Let's go. Compete on 3. 1, 2, 3, compete. Let's go.
Now the team's certainly in sync. The Web, mostly former Richmond alumni, former Richmond Spiders, and they have a 6-point lead in a second quarter where neither team has been able to get a field goal.
And I'd like to say it's good defense, but it really feels a little bit about offense being out of sync. And what do you do when you come out of a timeout? You try to run your best set. They did that, and they turned it over. So just not on the same page right now offensively at either end.
6th time the Web has given it away. Ford set up by Trapp, and the first one for him, and it breaks our field goal drought.
And there he is. 7 for 12 yesterday, 3 for 6 from downtown. Quincy Ford. Now a steal by Ford.
And numbers for DRC. Patterson on the run out and the rise up.
Chandre Jones tried to have a giveaway, but the officials let them play on. And I like that. You know, it's a cheap way to stop a short 2 points.
8 of the 9 players in the DRC rotation have scored to this point. Jones, nice contest there from Clanton, made it a really difficult shot.
And when you're struggling, you need to get back into your continuity. We saw this yesterday from the Web, where they had a whole lot of isolation, and it's just not the way they're used to playing.
Jones hits Ford on the arm. It's 5 straight points now from Team DRC since they came out of the timeout, and overall a 7-0 run. Two teams that combined 2 of 12 to start this second quarter.
Inbounding underneath your own offensive goal is a great opportunity to run something where you can get an easy shot. A little out of sync there again. You get some miscommunication, some cuts. Two guys cutting in the same spot. Just not a lot of flow to their offense.
2-game with Clanton and Trapp well off the mark.
They getting out on the break.
Jones in transition, score it, plus the foul.
A little bit of a moving screen there, and that's what Jackson Trapp is complaining about. But it's falling on deaf ears, Matt Martucci. This is a terrific play by Chandre Jones in traffic, the hoop, and the arm.
It's tough to quit smoking cold turkey. So Chantix can help you quit slow turkey. Along with support, Chantix is proven to help you quit. With Chantix, you can keep smoking at first and ease into quitting. Chantix reduces the urge, so when the day arrives, you'll be more ready to kiss cigarettes goodbye. When you try to quit smoking, with or without Chantix, you may have nicotine withdrawal symptoms. Stop Chantix and get help right away if you have changes in behavior or thinking, aggression, hostility, depressed mood, suicidal thoughts or actions, seizures, new or worse heart or blood vessel problems, sleepwalking, or life-threatening allergic and skin reactions. Decrease alcohol use. Use caution driving or operating machinery. Tell your doctor if you've had mental health problems. The most common side effect is nausea. Quit smoking slow turkey. Talk to your doctor about Chantix.
TBT, the winner-take-all single elimination $2 million basketball tournament is brought to you by Puma Basketball. In the Huddle, presented by Puma.
We're going small right now without Mark, so hopefully the big is on there. Well, hopefully the big's on you offensively too. You know what I mean? So get his ass moving. Wait, 1 to 2. I gotta go.
Gerard Giddings, former Spider player. Mark McGonigal, also a former Richmond walk-on, now on Chris Moody's staff. Defensive communication. Giddings, pretty good role player during his day with the Spiders. Actually got to start every game as a senior and had the best year of his career. Speaking of good years here in Richmond, Chandre Jones brings this Web lead back to 4. Matt Martucci, Tim Scarborough, our statistician John Tobias, and our great crew here in Richmond. And Patterson. First time we've heard from him from the perimeter.
And so far in this tournament, in this region, every time a team goes 2-3 zone, it hasn't really worked. There's always a good ball movement situation where you get a wide open 3 and they knock it down.
Bernard almost traveled. Clanton so far has been kind of a non-factor. They've done a good job defending him.
They really have.
Hard to keep him off the glass though sometimes. Ford, composure in the lane. Gonzalez able to clean it up.
Oh, his teammates have to let him know that the defense is coming behind him. Here's Patterson.
End to end, just like that.
Oh,
5
man.
straight for Patterson.
That guy is so much fun in the open court.
And DRC back in front. We've had 9 lead changes in this first half alone. 12-3 run for them, and Jones pushed off. An offensive foul on Chandre Jones.
Tyshawn Patterson again at the defensive end, making an impact. Played at North Greenville, started off at Stetson. And he is contributing solidly off the bench here in the second quarter.
And sometimes you'll see guys do that. They play a few years Division I, And then they move on to D2 for that last year, and they dominate. And that's exactly what he did.
Team royalty has Keenan Palmer, who was a starter at Old Dominion for 2 years and played behind Trey Freeman, elected to go Division II his senior year and was a Division II All-American.
Brown one and done. Just a 1-for-8 start for the Web this quarter, and Allen not helping the cause.
Yep.
Their 10th turnover, 7 of them have come since the second period started.
Chris Mooney really has to feel pretty good about this particularly assembled Web team. All his guys, all really good players, playing together and running pretty much his offensive system.
And most of which are playing at the next level. Clanton got stripped. I think we could hear that over here.
You know what's funny? We talk about that black and blue rivalry, the black being VCU and the blue being the Web, Richmond here in this city. Online, I was watching Richmond fans literally cheering against VCU and applauding when they lost last night. I'm like, wow, they're not even playing against each other. They're actively cheering against him.
Even on social media.
On social media and in the TBT. The hate is real.
Yes, the venom was strong.
Downtown Kenny Brown.
Nice look for Patterson. Ford stayed with it. No numbers, and Klein electing to just keep it in the backcourt.
And not just that, he was going to be dribbling in traffic, so why do that when you have guards?
There's the back door. This time Clinton ready for it. Harper, second chance.
Nice cleanup by Harper. That flex cut backdoor play, so difficult to stop when they run it out of their secondary break.
And another lead change, the Web back in front. The seesaw has shifted now 10 times.
Nice hands.
Gill trying to pick the pocket. Patterson kept at it.
Travel.
Shot clock does not reset.
Patterson jumped with the ball in his hand as a travel.
Ford with it down to 2, and a violation.
Patterson got away with that. But what a tough, rugged quarter this has been at the offensive end. As you see Coach Cromartie, Dominic Rogers-Cromartie's dad, running the team. He did a great job yesterday too, I thought, in that Ram Nation game. Stanley.
And Stanley Cromartie actually responsible for the recruitment of at least one of his guys in Jason Burnell. This Team DRC squad composed of some Orlando area guys, at least to start. Keith Clanton, Tristan Spurlock are part of that. A year ago, we ended up watching them in this Richmond region.
We did.
South region, it was called then.
A little different uniform color and a little differently assembled as well. A lot of those guys are now on Florida TNT, who was a second-round knockout in Greensboro region just a week ago.
I think it's safe to say, looking around social media, that the team that ended up bowing out to Overseas Elite will be back next year. Best Virginia putting on social media, we did this as a family. We did it with the state behind us. You packed the stands. We played our hearts out. On to 2020. Thanks for following.
So far, almost every team, probably everyone, even that UMBC team who had a rough day, they all say, I can't wait to come back.
Yeah, the only team I think that may push it to 2 years was Ram Nation.
Very true.
Final 30 seconds after the Harper miss. Speedy Smith creating opportunity, but there was nobody there for Burnell.
I would take my time here. I wouldn't rush it. Take the last shot, and they wisely do so. I thought they didn't do this in the first quarter, and it cost them.
Down to 5 seconds. Spurlock. Clanton got the tap, but couldn't get it to go. And the Web, after leading by as many as 8, sees it cut down to now all of a point, but still on top and trying to move on and meet overseas elite. First half highlights, stats, and plenty more coming from the Siegel Center. TBT 2019. Well, the Web, what's left in terms of representing the city of Richmond, and has a 1-point lead here at half in our Richmond Regional on Team DRC. Courtside here at the Siegel Center, Matt Martucci, Tim Scarborough, after it was just another day at the office for overseas elite in semifinal number 1. A back-and-forth affair here at the Siegel Center.
I think this is what we expected from these two teams, because they both kind of play a different style, but they play their own game. That second quarter was kind of rugged, though, and I think it was bad offense more than good defense. Whoever can kind of find their mojo will advance. But again, you mentioned it, a very tough team waiting for them tomorrow right here on this floor.
We've had tempo, we've had threes, we've had dunks, we've had a little bit of everything here in this first 18 minutes. Both teams, though, in the first half, a lot of perimeter, especially in the first quarter.
Well, early on, the game plan was clear. Throw the ball into Clanton and play out of it. You saw that three from downtown by Brown. Harper got into the act with that three. Spurlock with a nice shot, and that was, again, played off of a pass from the interior. But I thought this was a tactical error, and they took a shot too early and allowed Chandre Jones to splash one right before the half. And you saw another Tyshawn Patterson shot, and then Harper on the cleanup. So some pretty solid basketball at times, but when it got rugged, it was due to guys not sharing the ball enough. And I think the Web is particularly a team that can get that ball going and get that offense going once again.
Looking for more efficiency in the third quarter. Halftime stats still to come here in Richmond.
We live with AT&T, and we are well past the honeymoon phase.
Occupado, Tom.
AT&T, what's this I hear about you advertising a 100% fiber network?
Only like a fraction of my customers can get that.
That's it?
You have such a glass half empty attitude.
The glass is more than half empty.
You need to relax, Tom.
Oh.
Tom, you need a little Tom time. You know, a little TT.
Stop living with AT&T. Xfinity delivers gig speeds to more homes than anyone.
Now down to 13 teams left in the $2 million single elimination winner-take-all basketball tournament. Halftime between the Web and Team DRC. And it's the Richmond alumni with, what's the 1-point lead? Matt Martucci, Tim Scarborough. We've already set up several of our regional finals. And Syracuse was no exception. Boeheim's Army vaulting itself into the finals.
Yeah, and Eric Dievendorf was terrific today, 8 for 10. From the field, and he got an Elam Ender on his belt, and he was really good from start to finish. He still has it, basically, and Boeheim's Army advances thanks to the services of Eric Dievendorf. Great sportsmanship there between him and Steve Bird as well from Gale Nation.
And brotherly love also moving on with a win over Armored Athlete. It's a guy that we saw in Philly quite a bit with Drexel, Franz Massenet.
Love that guy. Unbelievable scorer. And, but it's not just him. And I love the way they share the ball. Moore, Gadsden, just a terrific, a great group in terms of how they play together.
As Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, the second of our 4 regional finals will get started here in Richmond at noon. So plenty to pay attention to, and I should say 3 regional finals. The 4th is actually coming tonight in Salt Lake City. So it's noon, 2, and then 4 tomorrow. But basically wall-to-wall just about basketball here at TBT for our regionals.
We get things started tomorrow on this floor. not quite set yet, the matchup. We know Overseas Elite, but the way this one is going, it's still anybody's ball game. And I think the Web has a little bit of advantage playing here in Richmond, but DRC is unabashed when it comes to coming to Richmond and winning. We saw them beat Ram Nation last night in orderly fashion. Can they do it again to their second team in a row? We'll find out.
Balanced half for the Web, led by as many as 8, and shot almost 50% from the field. Chandre Jones, not really that surprising, their leader once again after he and TJ Klein big nights last night.
And Chandre hit that shot that, again, he probably shouldn't have gotten had Kenny Brown held for the last shot in the first quarter like he should. Chandre banks one in from about 40 feet. And as a result, his team has the lead here in the first half. Now the second half about to start.
And TJ Klein, no points in what's over the last 15 minutes. So certainly a point of emphasis to try and get him going in the second half for the Web. They'll start with the basketball.
And just like they start almost every quarter, they're going to run either a set or their continuity to try to get an easy bucket. Lots of reads. This one is a straight set here.
And Gonzalez set up. Couldn't get the mid-range to fall. Same starting 5 for Team DRC. Tristan Spurlock, Quincy Ford, Speedy Smith, Keith Clanton, and Kenny Brown. The former UCF big Clanton right to work with that fancy footwork.
This DRC team is as balanced a starting 5 as you'll see. All the elements that you need to win in this tournament.
6 now for Clanton. Allen, soft touch from the foul line.
Mid-range game on point. Terry Allen.
Only the second field goal for the product of Houston, Texas. Spent this last year just like TJ Klein in Israel. Clanton too much with the jump hook.
Got a bear hug from Justin Harper.
Jones a little out of control in on Spurlock. Transition the other way. Smith and Brown sniping and cashing in.
Couldn't keep his puppies behind that black line, so only get 2 points, but a great job. That's what Speedy Smith brings. End-to-end, wire-to-wire, pushing in transition and delivering the package.
And there's Klein, scoreless no more in those last 15 minutes. Klein plus the foul.
Klein and Jones are terrific together. They played together in college, and the chemistry is palpable. Take a look at that dime delivered by Chandre Jones.
TJ Klein, only a 62% foul shooter in Israel this past year.
I feel like that ball was taken off the rim, which you're not supposed to be able to do on a free throw. So that was a miss by the officials.
And Harper, they didn't miss that.
Did not miss that. Nobody missed that one.
All crew tonight, Ted Valentine, Jamal Rawls, and Clarence Armstrong. Ted Valentine, affectionately known as Teddy TV.
And you know, it's 2 reasons, though. Obviously, he likes the camera. But those were his initials.
Yep, that works out.
To him, it's the initials. To the rest of us, we know it's about the TV, the television.
Mugging a little bit. Ford, Klein might have gotten a piece and out of bounds. If you happen to tune in late, we've had a tie and 14 lead changes. A couple minutes into the third quarter, Matt Martucci, Tim Scarborough. Winner gets Overseas Elite. And Chandre Jones wants it to be the Web. 11 becomes their first double-figure score tonight.
You almost get the feeling that Chandre Jones is not going to let them lose this game. The ability to take over at key moments. But DRC may have something to say about that as well.
Quincy Ford with another 3. Harper says check on your poker chips.
I love how both teams have much more flow to their offense here in the third quarter. That second quarter, as we talked about at halftime, was rugged.
Jones, the vision again. Harper, there's not such a thing as being too open, at least in that case.
DeAndre Jones, it starts with his dribble penetration, getting 2 feet in the paint. That's a Jay Wright thing as Speedy Smith turns it over.
11 for Harper now. And the Web on a 6-0 run.
Watch Justin Harper get a little hot, wide open from the top of the key, and says, "Thank you, may I have another 3-ball corner pocket?"
He and Jones have combined for 22 with the 39. Finding him again. Gill timed the jump and gets fouled from behind by Ford.
Harper couldn't get that third one in a row to go. But it's LG Gill showing us his athleticism. And to me, Gill and Terry Allen are similar players. Gill a little bit more athletic, Allen a little bit more skilled with the basketball.
LG Gill was actually the first graduate transfer to move on from Duquesne after the rule was implemented that you could leave and get the immediate eligibility as a grad transfer. Finished up in College Park as a Maryland Terp. The LG actually stands for Little Gill.
Wow.
It was a name given to him, nickname given to him shortly after he was born. But a Richmond area guy who actually played at, again, Benedictine. And a teammate of a former VCU Ram played in this building, Jordan Burgess.
Yep.
He was his backup in high school. Clyde pushed off, going the other way.
TJ Clyde smiling on that one. You know what you did, son. They had too many players on the floor, so they'll have to wait. David Gonzalez late in leaving, and now we get it straight.
Malcolm Bernard back in. Andre Jones, Justin Harper, Klein, and Gill for the Web. Jones able to grab the steal and then throws it right back. Speedy Smith.
That's why he's speedy. Did you see him turn on the Jets?
And bumped here by Bernard. And they were supposed to have back-to-back Conference USA Players of the Year on this roster. Here's one of them in Smith.
Did you see how fast he is, though? He was about 3 lengths behind the ball, but he got to it before Richmond could run that down for a sure 2 points. Those kinds of hustle plays are winning plays. And Kenny Brown has struggled here today, just 2 for 6. Another travel on the perimeter. And Kenny Brown, number 1 for DRC, just 2 for 6 from the field.
Spurlock gives it away. And a little bit of angst on the sideline for Stanley Cromartie. 13 turnovers that his team has forced. They've given it away 9, though, themselves. And 4 in this half. Dominic Rogers Cromartie hoping that his team can move on. And he has a reason to come over here again from Redskins training camp. LG Gill has other ideas.
LG Gill takes the elevator to the penthouse right there.
7 now for Gill. Brown, no answer. Patterson, the smallest guy on the floor.
Well, isn't he their energy guy, though? Patterson just makes solid plays.
GM Danny Long told me this week that he's not only their energy guy, one of their biggest emotional leaders. More than halfway past in the third quarter to decide who plays overseas elite. Brown, and there was a ward called there by Ted Valentine. So we'll get the explanation. The Web in front by 6. LG Gill living life above the rim. LG for life's good here in Richmond.
Me and the guys walk into this place. Now, you would have thought from the name of it, it's gonna be packed with sailors. So I immediately picked out the biggest guy in there, and I walked straight up to him. Now, he looks me square in the eye, and I swear he says, "Welcome to Navy Federal Credit Union." Whoa, friendly alert. I got a great auto rating.
We go inside the huddle, presented by Puma and Team DRC.
Everybody got the game rebound. Offensively, we got to run motion. We got to get some ball movement. We got to get some movement going on. We've been too stagnant, all right? Going to finish it strong. Now finish it strong on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, we're trying to get some easy baskets. I cut the basket, but you got to be strong, all right? Don't lose it. We in the ball game. It's one ball game. We got pretty basketball.
There's a lot of basketball left.
Play smart.
Got to keep grinding it out.
Defense going to win now. Defense, all right? Come on, kid. Make these. Let's go. Let's go, fellas.
Hey, win up.
Lots of things there from Stanley Cromartie. What stands out?
The fact that he said there's a lot of basketball to be played, and the fact that they need to have more ball movement. I think he's right, though. There's a lot of stagnation at their end. The ball isn't moving. To me, they're best when they try to throw it into the paint and then play off of Claxton, play off the Clanton, and get the ball back out to the snipers on the perimeter, because you get the Richmond Web team to overhelp, and that's when good things happen, because even if they don't get the three-point shot, they're able to go off the dribble, because the closeout, the guy may be off balance and you can blow right by him.
Kenny Brown at the foul line. Stanley Cromartie, Dominic Rogers Cromartie's dad.
Don't you love listening to the huddles, though?
It's great.
It's terrific, man.
Back down to 5.
Wonder how training camp is going for Rogers Cromartie and the Redskins right here in Richmond.
2-time Pro Bowler and one-time All-Pro, Dominic Rogers Cromartie. You know who the favorite is, though, in the NFC East.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yes, sir. Joseph Katuka. And really the first we've heard from him most of this tournament. The former GW Colonial on the board. Gill getting a good look. Down to a single possession again. The Web is led by as many as 8. Team DRC had a 6-point lead late in the first quarter. Trying to get it again. Katuka. And give him 4 straight on a little mini run.
Felt like he shuffled his puppies a little bit there, got away with it, and was able to cash it in. And just when you think the Web is going to pull away, DRC right back in it. Uh-oh.
Gill with the finish. Boy, are they glad they added him to this roster. 9 now for LG Gill. Darian Brothers. Team 4th on the Web. Try not to pick up another one before the end of this quarter, otherwise you send them to the foul line.
I don't know about you, but I love quarters for basketball. The NCAA men's side is the only real entity that even plays halves anymore. High school quarters, pros quarters, women's basketball quarters.
Now the women's NCAA game has gone to it in the last few years.
Yep.
Patterson with the shot clock winding down. Tyshawn Patterson now jumps into double figures with 11. He's been their leading scorer, their best source of offense. Klein almost got it tipped out of bounds. Nobody home for Bernard, doesn't matter, little improv.
But that's another Jay Wright thing right there. You get your feet in the paint, and then you wheel around on your pivot foot, and it gives you space to shoot the 12-foot shot.
Patterson trying to take over at this end.
He's terrific, though, going off the dribble. A depth passer, but he can certainly score as well.
Chandre Jones picks up his third. Tyshawn Patterson has played in Colombia and Canada in his pro career since he finished up at Division II North Greenville. Talked about dominating, averaged almost 24 points a game his senior year. Gonzalez back in. Klein sits down, as does Jones. They actually thought that the Web, they were going to have Darius Garrett, who was initially listed on their roster, shot blocker extraordinaire.
Yep.
That certainly would have helped in terms of some of their paint awareness.
You could have a nice team built out of the players who haven't been able to show up in this region for all the teams, right?
The all in absentia team.
So we're approaching the fourth quarter, a tight game. You want to have that advantage going into the Elam ending if you can.
Been a big quarter for Brown and Team DRC. Now 5 of their last 5 since opening 3 of 7. And we're tied up again. Actually, a point within a tie. It was a deep 2 for Kenny Brown. So 51-50.
That's the second time Brown has taken a long 2 like that and made the shot. And that foul there off of the dribble, Spurlock didn't agree with it. Or Burnell, I should say.
5-second differential between shot and game clock winding down this third quarter. Gill not soft enough in the lane.
So now DRC certainly should hold for 1. They're not going to make that mistake again. Stanley Cromartie won't let them.
Team DRC hasn't led since the beginning of the third quarter. Down to a second and a half after they lost it out of bounds. Patterson, the inbound trigger.
Oh, they got to call that, yeah.
Not Klein on Burnell.
And not the best foul either, because now you're going to give up 2 free ones. On the other hand, with 1.5 seconds, maybe Chandre Jones, who's not in the game, so scratch that, could get a last-second shot. But here, it's a chicken fight and a little bit of a flop, in my opinion. But nonetheless, a savvy play by Jason Burnell.
80% shooter this past year at Jacksonville State, finishing up college ball. Did some pretty good work in a short amount of time there. Averaged 11 as a junior, 17 as a senior. And gets them both. They're back in front. Gonzalez, that's off and out of bounds. Last touch by Patterson.
And so now you have a situation where you may be able to get a lob to the basket. A touchdown pass attempt by T.J. Klein, incomplete.
Now, TJ's from Plano, Texas. You know where some of the best high school football is. Here's Klein.
There you go.
And got it off. Score the basket.
And once again, last-second shots given up by DRC. This is remarkable. A second and a half on the clock, and they had the inbound length of the court. Somehow they get this shot right here, and I think he got it off in plenty of time.
Oh, it's out with more than enough time.
A touch shot, if you will, by the veteran T.J. Klein. Court awareness off the charts.
The son of the Basketball Hall of Famer. Wonder how many times he's practiced that. Head into the fourth quarter. Will it be the Web or Team DRC? Overseas Elite waiting in the wings here in Richmond.
It's tough to quit smoking cold turkey. So Chantix can help you quit slow turkey. Along with support, Chantix is proven to help you quit. With Chantix, you can keep smoking at first and ease into quitting. Chantix reduces the urge, so when the day arrives, you'll be more ready to kiss cigarettes goodbye. When you try to quit smoking, with or without Chantix, you may have nicotine withdrawal symptoms. Stop Chantix and get help right away if you have changes in behavior or thinking, aggression, hostility, depressed mood, suicidal thoughts or actions, seizures, new or worse heart or blood vessel problems, sleepwalking, or life-threatening allergic and skin reactions. Decrease alcohol use. Use caution driving or operating machinery. Tell your doctor if you've had mental health problems. The most common side effect is nausea. Quit smoking slow turkey. Talk to your doctor about Chantix.
Our winning share sent with Zell for the Web right now with a 1-point lead. And that's a nice payout for both GM and head coach.
How would you love to get a text from Zell with a whole bunch of zeros on it?
$180K? Forget it. I'm not going to think about it. It's not going to happen.
Don't allow yourself to get too excited. Huh?
Correct. I live in the world of reality, Scarborough.
So you're not going to be training, trying to join Overseas Elite next year?
Visions of a torn Achilles. Now that would probably happen.
More than likely.
Burnell starting the fourth quarter.
Gives DRC the lead with that shot. It's been that kind of night, seesaw battle. Just like we thought, though, two very even teams playing for a chance to play against the aforementioned Overseas Elite.
Allen really staying with it. Got Katuka up in the air. 3 ties, 18, make it 19 lead changes.
Remarkable.
Kenny Brown with another field goal. He's been their leading scorer tonight along with Patterson. Gonzalez right over top of Burnell. It was a look from Gonzalez, and I think Mouth keeps giving me the ball.
Yeah. Ooh. Hard spill there.
Terry Allen quick to help Burnell out.
Yeah, we've seen a measure of sportsmanship in other regions as well as this one.
Well, I mean,
a lot of respect for each other.
I think you know, Stanley Cromartie, one of the architects of this roster, along with Anthony Fatu and Danny Long. But Jason Burnell and these guys, this is their living. So you don't want to see anybody else get hurt.
Yeah.
And be kept from making their living.
That's a great point.
6 for Jason Burnell to go with 6 rebounds. LG Gill back in. Jones sits down for the Web. So 1 of 2 for the Jacksonville State product out of the Ohio Valley.
Couldn't tie it.
Bernard and Gill, 2 of the non-spiders. Gill off the cross. Burnell trying to fill the lanes. They just went right into Klein and gets the bucket.
And I'm not sure Burnell even thought that ball was coming to him. Kind of an afterthought. He catches it and able to finish in traffic. Woo.
Bernard challenging at this end and draws the foul. So after 3 straight by Burnell, he commits the personal.
Looked like Bernard had visions of posterizations dancing in his head. He's looking to dunk this ball. But Burnell had other ideas. Coming into your living room right there.
Malcolm Bernard, career started at Charleston Southern. and Florida A&M, where he led the MEAC in steals. And then probably the most enjoyable year of his collegiate career was a complimentary piece on Xavier's Elite Eight run. And just in the last few years, before being a G League first-round pick in 2017.
There was a little stretch where it seemed like Xavier was going to the Elite Eight a lot, early part of this decade.
And it didn't really matter. It was plug and play for who the head coach was. Sean Miller, Chris Mack.
Chris Mack got him, yep. They all got higher paying jobs as a result.
Blanton, little two-game with Brown. Shot clock winding down. Perfect execution.
Downtown, Kenny Brown coming to life here in the second half.
Second three for Brown. And the sixth one for Team DRC of this game. Spurlock and Clarence Armstrong says, you got him.
Spurlock knew it though. No argument.
Only the second team foul though. Both teams have committed two. A couple minutes away from our Elam ending.
Yeah, probably time to start playing the game. What do you think the target score will be?
Chandre Jones, TJ Klein, Gill, Darian Brothers.
Oh, he traveled there, yep.
And make that Harper, excuse me. Harper's the one who gives it away.
Indecision there. He probably should have just caught it and shot it. He was looking to make the unselfish next play.
14th turnover for Jerron Giddings, guys. Team DRC doing a little bit better job taking care of the basketball, still single digits. The shot clock down to 10 here at the Siegel Center. Burnell. Gill finally able to corral him. And a good save to Harper.
Nice move.
Jones finding Klein.
Too strong.
And still down by 2. Brown, who may be Team DRC's best closer. Once Gill in on him in the finish.
That is tough. A little reminiscent of Steve Burt from Gale Nation, the Iona Gales team that went down today to Boeheim's Army, but not without a fight.
5 straight now for Kenny Brown.
Of course, Brown is right-handed, Burt is left-handed. Same results, though.
How bad do both of these teams want this? 23 lead changes, and we still have plenty to go. Kenny Brown, killer instinct here for DRC.
The Shawn Mendes Verizon Up concert was surreal.
Why the Yusuf-Say sisters chose Verizon.
We were right in front row.
I'll never forget that day.
The network more people rely on gives you more, like a free Galaxy S10e when you buy one. That's Verizon.
Now the Web with what's an over 2-minute scoring drought here at the Siegel Center. And we're just over a minute away from our Elam ending in the regional semifinal round 2. Harper, they missed their last couple perimeter shots. Klein was on the end line, says Ted Valentine.
That was a big rebound for Klein, but he couldn't keep his feet within the perimeter, the parameters of the floor, I should say. And now this is a key possession. If you are the Web, you really want to get a stop here. You don't want to get too far away right before the Elam ending. It's the worst time to let another team get a lead on you like this. See if Kenny Brown can recognize. Nice.
And it's Burnell cleaning it up. What an addition he's been.
Woo. Big bucket right there. Sense of urgency now for the Web.
10 off the bench for Jason Burnell. He just finished his college career. Harper, and no response. And now you can wind this down to the Elam and call a timeout.
That's exactly what I think they're going to do. Coach Cromartie
coaching them up there. Couple more seconds, and they can call it. He wants it. There he is. He gets it. Called it himself.
So the Web picking what is the most inopportune of times for an over 3-minute scoring drought.
I'll say.
A 7-0 Team DRC run and the target score up on the board. And the boys from Central Florida move on. They'll get overseas elite if they do.
Well, my parents met in Texas, then they moved to Washington. They had me at Good Boys, rated R.
Elam ending time in Richmond. Hit the rewind button to yesterday. Chandre Jones running the Princeton offense over the green machine to get here to round 2.
Inopportune time to leave the back door open, and then it's Speedy to Spurlock. Somebody get those lights.
And Tristan Spurlock, only 5 points yesterday, but all 5 of them were really big. Had a late 3 and then that game winner.
Who's going to turn out the lights tonight? Who will close the door on the other? Right now, Team DRC in the driver's seat. And this was a very close game. Neither team could pull away from the other. But unfortunately for the Web, they have gone cold here of late. And as a result, trailing by 6, needing 14 points here in the Elam ending scenario. Of course, no clock in play other than the shot clock. Game clock is off.
A reminder coming up in about 20 minutes. Everline Drive and Team Challenge in the regional final at Salt Lake City. Here in Richmond, Burnell with a miss. So it's plus 14 versus plus 8.
Going back to the original game plan on the block with Clanton and playoff. They haven't done that the whole game, and probably because it's hard for Clanton to continue playing that way. Here's a mismatch with Speedy Smith on Klein. Klein had the height advantage, and he did what he was supposed to do, just couldn't convert the shot.
Has really had to work for his 8 points tonight, just like Clanton has had to work for the 6 he's had. Shot clock cut in half. Brown and Bernard vision up the floor, but elected not to. Got caught up. Allen to try and cut the deficit in half, and does.
Need it, got it, count it. Terry Allen spotted up in that corner. Great job by Bernard to find him. So if you're thinking about it from a psychological perspective, you're looking to try to tie the game. But it's, and they're going the other way.
Clanton pushing off. Hadn't committed a foul this entire game.
And that was interesting because when you see 2 players in a chicken fight trying to, win an area, whether it's the block or the perimeter, it's usually the defensive guy who gets the foul. But right here, I think they're going to call that hook. And that's exactly what they call it. Klein says, I wasn't even touching it.
And Jones is going to get 3 free throws.
How about that?
After Smith with a no-no.
Jones with a chance to tie the game from the free throw line. And I don't know about you, Tooch, that's a lot of pressure when you get 3 free throws, especially in these scenarios. Darius Washington is still trying to lift down missing free throws in this very scenario when he played at Memphis years ago. And I'm going to say that was a 2-point attempt, though. Tooch, what do you think?
Yeah, they did only signal 2.
Yep.
But they are going to look at it. Oh, yeah, it's not even close.
Both feet inside.
So excuse me.
No, it's not just you. The officials had to look at it, too. They need to make sure. Clarence Armstrong definitively says 2.
81% over his college career for Chandre Jones. Tonight has only been there once, 1 for 1. And brings them to within 2. And more importantly, to plus 10.
And to me, that's the way you have to look at it, right? Regardless of what that other team has, you got to try to see if you can get to that target score before them. How do you do that? You got to get stops at your end. That's the most important thing to me, and then try to get good shots. But as long as you're holding them off, it's like trying to not make that last out in baseball. Keep getting on base.
Klein has hampered Clinton a lot of this game. Speedy Smith, haven't heard from him until now. Just the second field goal of the night. Well, we talked about Kenny Brown as a closer. Speedy Smith is also that guy. Gill with the cut. Clinton got the block. Pinball in the middle of the lane. And Bernard right around Clinton.
Nice move. Bernard picking up that loose change and cashing it in.
+5 versus +7.
See if the double comes.
And it does. Draws it in.
Gotta rotate, though.
Spurlock with 8 on the shot clock.
Great recovery.
Brown. And Clinton over the back. And that's big because it's the 15th foul, so it puts Klein right on the line.
With a chance to tie this game and put the same distance between themselves and DRC from that target score.
TJ Klein.
And this foul is obvious. Klein with a great box out, giving up some strength and weight, but he's in the right position.
TJ Klein, the son of Nancy Lieberman and Tim Klein, who at 5 years old, when his mom was coaching with the Detroit Shock, was taken to an NBA game. The Pistons were playing the Chicago Bulls and was introduced to one Michael Jordan. The Bulls ended up losing that game, and afterwards he asked Michael, shortly after Space Jam had come out, if you could beat the Monstars so easily, why couldn't you beat the Pistons? And Jordan laughed and said, hey, TJ, sometimes it's just not your night. Oh, Smith, it's his night, late night. 6 here since we started this Elam ending. Jones up into Clinton, contacted, will go to the line.
Win or lose, though, you had to figure that Chandre Jones would be a pivotal player. But also Speedy Smith at the other end. We saw his late game heroics yesterday, and right on cue, Speedy shows up from downtown with a couple of huge three-pointers here in the Elam ending.
Just about everybody who's been on the floor for them, except for Jackson Trapp, has scored tonight, Team DRC. Same for the Web, all but one, just Darian Brothers. Jones has been their leading scorer. But a big miss. And once again, Team DRC in the driver's seat. Regional final and a date with overseas elite could be on the horizon. Clinton.
2 points away.
The back down and threw it away. Right idea for Ford, who wasn't ready for it.
Absolute dime, but Ford lets it slip right through his fingertips. See if the Web can cash in this opportunity. Chandre.
Jones, and again using the rim. Loves that reverse layup for good reason.
So now, if you're in the Web, you have to be thinking in terms of, we need one stop, and then let's go get that winning three-point shot.
The Web supporters on their feet.
The drama of the Elam ending.
Smith with the shot clock down to 10. Can the Web get a stop? Smith wants it over top of Jones. Ford got the push off.
He sure did.
Spurlock going for it and has it again. For the second straight night, this time from the perimeter, Tristan Spurlock. And Team DRC on to round 3 and the regional final. They'll play Overseas Elite with a trip to Chicago on the line.
Tristan Spurlock has turned into Mariano Rivera, the closer, the ultimate closer right here. Last night with the two-hand flush to send Ram Nation packing. That right there was a 35-foot three-point shot. Cold-blooded splash from downtown.
His second three-pointer of the night proves to be the biggest one for Team DRC.
Pretty big indeed. Got away, Ford did, with a little travel. Nothing called. And then this is cash money from 3. And that's a sinking feeling when the ball is in the air and it looks good and you're on defense. And if it goes in, you lose. And it hits nothing but the bottom of the net.
Speedy Smith was big late down the stretch in both of these wins. But Tristan Spurlock last night getting it on just an old-fashioned two-point basket. And tonight from the perimeter. It was out in transition last night. But Ford got away with one to be able to set them up.
And he got away with a push in the back to get the rebound, and then the travel when he got it. But nonetheless, you can't cry over spilt milk. Team DRC is moving their bracket over 1, and they have a chance to play once again tomorrow versus Overseas Elite.
Little air guitar for Tyshawn Patterson and the celebration. 75-71. Team DRC moving on. We'll be right back with their hero, Tristan Spurlock.
I found this in the back of my parents' closet. Good Boys, rated R.
Now for the second straight night, Team DRC with an Elam ending to remember here in Richmond. They 7th seed moving on to the regional final in round 3 tomorrow, 75-71 over the Web. Matt Martucci, Tim Scarborough, and for the second straight night, it's Tristan Spurlock. Late to the party, but you got to the party.
Got to the party.
And that's all that matters. What were you thinking about in that last moment, especially after you're able to grab the rebound, you guys get the rebound from Ford, and you get the look?
Honestly, I was just thinking I got to shoot it. They was going on a run. They got a great crowd behind them. That's 2 nights in a row, 2 Richmond teams. So for us, it was just something, we've been undefeated. Underdogs all summer. We've been playing with each other in a lot of tournaments, Tampa Bay, Orlando. We won every tournament, beat a couple other TBT teams. So we didn't have any fear coming in here. And we knew, we was going to come in and play as hard as we could. But that last shot, I felt good. I got a great look. Quincy did a great job getting the rebound for me. I just, stepped in, knocked it down.
A big moment, though, in that position, because if you miss that shot, you miss it. You're not thinking about that. I understand that. Yeah. But if you miss it, they have the possession potentially to win the game. Yep. Was that going through your mind, or you just thinking cash money from downtown?
I started off hot, man. I had a lot to prove. Like yesterday, I didn't play as well. We played great as a team.
Yeah.
But yesterday, I didn't play that well. So today, I wanted to come in. I started off rolling, then got quiet. But I knew if I got a good open look, my teammates was going to find me. Quincy did a heck of a job finding me, and I knew if I catch it and then get a clean one, it's going up, and it's going to go in.
What is it about this roster, Tristan, that makes it special? We talked to your GM, Danny Long, this week leading up to this, and he said he felt like that not only you could, but that you would win this regional. And you look at the way you've done this in the last couple nights, with Speedy showing up late, you doing it the last 2 nights with your Elam endings. This is a special roster. What makes it so special?
I mean, us, man, we're really friends, and I think that's a big thing too. Like I said, we've been playing with each other all summer, man. Practices, playing against each other, pick up. Me and Keith playing. We went to UCF together. And we played with each other so much during the summer, man. And, we have great chemistry. And we got a good core, man. Tyshawn Patterson, man, he came in and played great today. Played great yesterday, too. So it was big for us.
Yeah, I was going to say one of the smallest guys on the floor. He certainly
don't tell him that.
Doesn't
don't tell
play
him that.
like it. Doesn't
don't
play
tell him
like
that.
it.
He got heart. He a gorilla, man. He barks. And, today in the first half, I told him, I said, Ty, I don't feel you. And he was like, you're going to feel me the second half. So the second half, I think he really stepped up. And when they went on a run, he stopped a little bit of the bleeding with steals and defense, and he picked up
great
full
charge.
court.
Yeah,
man,
he
did a great job.
He was the energizer guy.
Yeah.
Now, tomorrow,
you
have the ¡1 team ever in this tournament.
Oh,
They've never lost.
That's great.
How do you feel about that?
We got to feel how we feel. We're the best 7th seed in TBT history. So we're going to come in here, we're going to play. This is the first time we're not going to have to go against a Richmond crowd, so it's going to be interesting.
You won 2 Richmond crowds,
man, send them
and
home.
now the best team ever, the 4-time defending champions.
Love it.
You love that hard road, huh?
I mean, like we said, coming into this regional with them being a 1 seed, I mean, if we're going to win it all, we got to go through them anyway. We always felt like we would have to go through them anyway. So, I mean, with, Richmond coming in, they played a different style than VCU, and I think we adjusted to both. And to be honest with y'all, we haven't played nearly our best basketball.
Whoa, that's scary.
We've been playing a lot of tournaments together and beating a lot of good teams. And we went in the locker room today like, yo, are we going to play or are we going to go home now? So we're excited. This is a great challenge, but this is what we wanted. This is what the TBT is all about. I mean, you see, Overseas Elite, they're big time. So we think we want to be big time. So we're going to see tomorrow.
Tristan, what's this mean to you to be able to do this in the state where you started your collegiate career? And not only that, but you have teams in Sideline Cancer and Team Challenge that are playing for causes. You're apparently playing for somebody as well.
Yeah, my best friend, Jeremy Nottingham, a couple days ago told me he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. So, for me, that was something coming up here. It was on I literally got it as I was landing back home. So it was just something that's been on my mind. I'm going to go see him on Monday. So, this means a lot to me, a lot to him. I dedicated that first one to him, dedicate this one to him too. So, for me, it's just one of the things, being, born in D.C., from Virginia, played with Boo Williams, played at UVA. It's an honor.
Well, best to Jeremy and best to you guys.
Yes,
We're
sir.
looking forward to having you on our air tomorrow, noon on ESPN.
Oh, we got a little afternoon game. Okay.
Yeah, man, get some rest, right?
Definitely got to. Definitely.
Yeah, get back there and maybe a little film study, head hit the pillow, and then we'll see you tomorrow.
Definitely. It's going to be a good one tomorrow.
And Tristan Spurlock's 2 straight nights being the Elam Ender, if you will. And it sets up a matchup tomorrow. 27 straight, $7 million in prize money for Overseas Elite. And a noon tip on ESPN, the first of 3 regional finals. And, of course, Salt Lake City going on right now. But we'll hand out 3 more bids to Chicago tomorrow for championship week. Couldn't be more excited about it. For my broadcast partner, Tim Scarborough, statistician John Tobias, our producer, Shelby Wilson, and our great crew here in Richmond, Matt Martucci saying so long. Flip it over to the Salt Lake City Regional. And, of course, it's Team Challenge and Everline Drive in their final. We'll see you tomorrow at noon here at the Siegel Center on ESPN. Good night.